这个笔点2下，它可以直接变成橡皮擦，再点一下它可以变。
点哪边啊？点哪边啊？
都可以。
是哦。
敲2下就。
是哦。
对。
不早点讲。害我这边找没在找。
但是换颜色还是要自己打。
没有啊，至少它不要在当中。
好。
通过第几号再写一次
？10月11。
他们都announce了哈啊，那个好。就3个题目嘛，3个题目。Okay. Good afternoon. So let's continue on our chapter 3. So at the beginning, we just remind you the homework due October 11th. Okay. So today we are going to talk about image enhancement and concept of image enhancement and some intensity transformation and histogram transformation, especially for the histogram equalization. Definitely, 100%. I will have the test quiz and the midterm for equalization, so you have to know. And besides that, we will do some histogram specification, some transformation. Okay, so remember, we just say image enhancement is based on visual human vision, and so there's no standard quantitative measurement for enhancement. You just visually say it is better or not. So process an image so that output is look better, okay, for the, compared to the input. So for any different specific application. Enhancement therefore is very depend on the particular problem. Okay, sometimes it's remove the noise. It becomes a little bit blurred. Okay. For example, for the movie stars. So if it's too clear on her or his face, you'll see it's ugly because a lot of pimple, whatever. But smooth looks better. Okay, so sometimes not clear is a better situation. So its enhancement can be done either in spatial domain or within domain dimension. So in this chapter 3, we will only focus on spatial domain. Frequency domain will be look at the next chapter, chapter 4. So it transfer into the frequency domain and then look at the energy distribution. So here's the overview for the enhancement techniques. Okay, so we roughly can classify into different category, like a point operation. So point by point, which means you only change the intensity level one by one. Okay, so didn't look at the neighboring condition at all. I just look at this intensity label. I know I'm going how to do it, how to transform this intensity label from one value to the other value. So there's no neighboring condition here. And the other one is mask operation. So mask. Now we are going to look at the neighboring. For the point operation, we have a lot of different techniques. So you can do some intensity label from one value to the other value. So we are going to look at this one today. And the other one is for the neighboring relationship. So you use mask. So you have to define the mask neighboring location, maybe it's a square, maybe the rectangle, maybe circle shape. So it depends on your neighboring condition, and then do transformation. And some of that use some breathing domain we mentioned is use some low pass filter, high pass filter, band pass, homomorphic operation. So it's a different transformation application. And now later, the last chapter for the enhancement is for the coloring operation. So it's some force coloring, full current processing. So we'll go this one by one. So the first part, the first category is point operation. So you just have this your original distribution from 0 to R grade level. Sometimes we try to represent it from 0 to 1. Okay, actually in your real image is 0 to 255, and set the same for the S. The output grade level, you can normalize to 0 to 1. Actually, for the discrete image, maybe you 8-bit image is 0 to 255. This is the transformation function. So this is input R. We use R to as your input parameters, and you try to change to S. So you have to find out a function we call the T of R. T of R. You have to define your function T of R. Transform to S. So ARK to SK. So every different intensity level in your input, you are going to change to another grade level. And for this this transformation is monotonic increasing. Okay, this is quite straightforward. Monotonic. Okay, there's no bending curve there. If you have bending curve like the parabolic, and maybe two value will change to 1, or 1 value change to 2 value. So it's a different. So better use a monotonic increasing or monotonically decreasing, and you are very sure their transformation. So we try to write this one, and the S is the output pixel value. R is the input. So this is the transformation function. T can be any increasing or decreasing function from 0 to 1. So 0 to 1, we just mentioned we do some normalize. And for the neighboring, as I mentioned, you just look at your neighboring pixel. So define the shape of your neighboring pixel you are going to look at. Maybe square, maybe rectangle, maybe circle. It's all fine. So now let's look at the point first. So please look at this function, transformation function for one point, one pixel, one point transformation. How about this one? This one is intensity transformation function from R to S. So look at this one. It's R is located this small region that stretch out to a whole range of the S output. So can you imagine what the result will be when you do this transformation? It's very powerful and very easy, useful to transform your image to a bright image, clear image. So you have to look at your distribution of your image intensity label. So we call it histogram. And if your image looks like a gray shaded, not clear, and their intensity label focus on specific range. For example, like this one, focus on this range here. In this region, okay, only small part of your gray label. So the image should be very blurred, okay, not highly contrasted. Okay, so it's focused on only one gray label image. So in that sense, if you provide this kind of transformation, what's your purpose? you stretch out this small range of the intensity level, stretch out, become a very high dynamic range here, right? So your image will become very enhanced, is a contrast in your content. And the extreme level is like this one, extreme. So what's the extreme? When you narrow down this range into a specific level, which means I just only less than K grade level of your intensity level become 0 output. Larger than K become 1. So what's the result? It's become a binary image. Your output only have a 0, 0, 0, 0, and 1. Your output only 2 label. We call it binary image. Actually, the binary image, their contrast is highest. So if you have a binary image, you can see the shape clearly. Okay, the highest contrast. So this kind of transformation, we just try to darken your image or try to stretch out your binary distribution. Okay, so it's good for the image segmentation. So in chapter, I think 10, we will see more detail. And let's look at next one. This is also very easy way to perform the enhancement technique. So every single curve is a kind of transformation function. Okay, T of R. Remember, every curve is different transformation. Here are 3 different types. The first one is linear. Okay. The second one is a logarithm. Okay, so you take a log transformation, or you take the inverse log. Okay, so it's a log, take log, or inverse log. Okay, so maybe you say exponential. Okay, it's fine. The third transformation function type is a power law. So we have 3 different enhancement simple curve to transfer your input image grade level to transform to the output differently. So the linear, there are 2 functions for the linear, like these two lines, diagonal and inverse diagonal. So what's the result? You just write down like this one. Your output is equal to what? If your grade level is 255, you have a 255. L is equal to 256. You have 256 different grade level, and now your highest intensity, the white color, should be L minus 1, 255, and then minus your input R. So this is the linear, and we call it a negative transformation. This one is the identity, right? They didn't change. The diagonal in 45 degrees identity transformation. Nothing changed at all. R to S exactly the same. So this is not necessary to say. And this one is a negative transformation. So if you play camera, you know the negative film. Actually, this is your negative film's content. And then you will see it's very simple, just linear minus your highest. The second one is the logarithm. The second one logarithm, the mathematics you can write down like this one. S equal to C log of 1 plus R. Okay, so your every input R variable plus 1. Try to avoid 0 happen. So we take 1 as a constant a fundamental value to transform. 1 plus your input and take log and then multiply some constant. So it's a log transformation. So can you tell me when you try to use this log, what's the color? What's the image will be changed? There are log and inverse log here. Okay, inverse log is exponential curve. So S equal to exponential of R. Okay, so if we look at this one, what happened to your image? Your image after log transform, what will happen? become darker or become brighter? From this image, from this curve, transformation curve, this curve, if your image picture input after low transformation, your image getting darker or getting brighter. Pretty brighter, right? Those are original small one here, small range here, up here, but stretch out to a big range here. So immediately you know your image will become brighter. If you use exponential transformation, definitely your image from brighter change to darker image. Okay, so similar for the NS root and the NS power. So we say the third one is a power law transformation. Actually, if you take a root of your input R, you'll become brighter image. If you take the power law, your power is larger than 1, maybe 2, 3. So it's become like this curve. So your image will become darker. So we have 3 simple intensity transform. So we have a couple of the example here. So here is the mammogram. Okay, mammogram is the X-ray on your breast. Okay, so this is the original digital mammogram look like. So when you look at this image, you say, oh, it's X-ray of the mammogram. Is that clear to you? If you look at it carefully, it's fine. But if you want to look at the detail of this image, immediately you just use this transform, this linear transform. So it looks like a black negative film, right? And you just use some linear transform. So you change the background from black to white, and you can see all the detail clearly in this film. Okay, so it's much clearer. So it's just use very simple linear transformation. Change your background and enhance what you want to look at. Okay, so this is the negative image obtained using the negative transformation. In this we just mentioned you just take the R arrow -1 minus R to get this result. Okay, so how about next compression of them? Okay, sorry. It says a compression of dynamic range. So we talk about the Fourier transform. We will see later in chapter 4. But now just give you one example. This is the original image, Saturn image. If you take the Fourier transform on this image, actually you know what's the Fourier transform. It's in continuous domain. We have a f of x times e minus j omega t, right? It is f of u. Okay, so it's continuous domain. You just take times this kernel, change from time domain of x domain to frequency domain. It's a one-dimensional. For a two-dimensional, you just multiply 2 minus e to minus j omega x plus times. Okay, for the image we have like this one. Okay, f of x y. Okay, to integration change to f of u v. Okay, it's a Fourier transform. But for the discrete image, it becomes summation. Okay. So you can see we might find some exponential kernel there. Actually, if you take the magnitude of your frequency spectrum, it's range a lot. Okay, huge number there. And you look at the result, we're like this. Did you see something there? The Saturn image change to Fourier domain. This is a frequency domain. The energy distribution, different frequency spectrum, different in x and u and the v direction. What do you think? In the center, what point in the center? Good eyes. Oh yes, nothing. So you only see the point energy there. But here. But the answer is wrong. It only has one point. What's that? Do you know that? What's the transformation into Fourier domain become single impulse signal. Constant in spatial domain, time domain. If it is a constant value, change to free domain become impulse. But this is not a constant image. This is the second image here, right? So you can see, you didn't see the right region there. What's the reason? Because the value here is huge, in very huge range, maybe more than 10,000, 60,000. Okay, real number there. So what do? When your transformation to a new array and the distribution is very huge range and normalized to 0 to 255, that's the result. You see nothing. So before you do normalization to 0 to 255, what do? Please do some we say log transformation. So you just take a C, remember, log of 1 plus R to a new S here. So what's the result? If your answer is 65,000 and you take a log, it becomes some 60 something. So the result like this. It's a real image, energy distribution of the certain image. Okay. So don't give up when you get some result you didn't see at all. Try to look at the data there and then do some right transformation. You'll see the distribution. Okay, so this is the energy distribution of your certain image. So it's try to compression your image, okay, of dynamic range. Because your transformation into the frequency domain, the number is huge. So in that sense, you are going to take a log transformation first, and you see the mechanism spectrum in log scale, and you can understand how it distributed the energy. It's not an impulse signal. It's like this result. Okay, so again, this is another example for the Fourier spectrum. It's some grayscale image and result apply the log transformation, and you will see what's the low frequency spectrum, what's the high frequency spectrum distribution. Okay, so it's very clear. So now let's look at this power law transformation. So we say that there are two types, right? Linear, logarithm. Right? This is power law. So depending on your power, so it's when your power equal to 1 is the identity transformation, do nothing, and your power is power to 1.5. And power to 2.5, 5.0, 10, 55, and 25, and you can see the curve and the straight different shape. So when you do this power law transformation in our real device, we have to do that. So remember, power law transformation is like this: R and gamma is your power. Okay, so definitely, this should be positive. Okay, these two parameters should be positive transformation and positive constant. And the most popular one is when we look at this power transformation, we say the monitor. Okay, especially for the traditional monitor, CRT monitor. Actually, they have to do some power transformation. We call it gamma correction. So if you heard about this one, gamma correction. Actually, it's doing some correct of your image for visualization. And the positive power greater than 1 power is make your image darker. And when you take a root transformation, the power root 0.2, take a root. If it's 0.5, is the root of 2. Yeah, so you become brighter. So we will start going to see the real example like this one. Gamma correction. Okay, so due to your electronic device, the distribution will like this one. So it's very not clear. So you have to do this on power. This is power gamma greater than 1. It's focus on specific range R1 to R2 here. So how you change it? So you have to use this formula to change your R to S. Transformation is dependent because your intensity level only focus on R1 to R2. So you have to do this easy transformation. R, your input number minus R1, the lowest number, divided by the range of this one. The range is R2 minus R1. And take a power of G there, like gamma. In this region, we take a power transformation. And after this greater than this R2, and it becomes constant, the maximum level 1 there. So it's a gamma correction for your monitors. Why we do that? Let's look at the true example there. This is the image of the of a human retina. Okay, actually, you take the image like this one. It should be okay. This should be the retina image here. But if you read this image like this one, it's not very clear. You don't have to do anything. If your image is already clear like this one, okay. But you want to try what's the gamma transformation, and gamma set up what's the number here? 2.5. Okay, R 2.5 S. So the result like this one. Is that right? Gamma correction for this one. Image B. Sorry. Should be darker. This one B top 2.5 is B here. So when your image put on the monitor, and the result will be like this one, due to the device. And its real effect is a gamma of 2.5. Okay, it's a visual of like this one. So you look at the monitor just like this result. The original one input, but after display on your monitor, and unfortunately it becomes very dark. So how do? You have to use a software to correct the image you look at. So you can play some gamma correction there. We just mentioned that one. Remember the video here? Yeah, so it's like here. Actually, we take this one. Should be like this one, become brighter. Okay. And you take the gamma correction, and your result, you'll get this one. And then show on your monitor. So what's the result? Compensate gamma correction and the image view on the same monitor would come like this. I don't know, did you get the idea? So if you don't do any gamma correction, you will look at the image like this one. Due to the electronic device. So I know that one, so I had to process our original image into this one, do some gamma correction. And after your monitor display, you become clear one, what you can see, like the original one. So that's the device issue. So for the monitor, we always have a gamma correction there, and then it's corrected like this one. So originally it's a 2.5. So if you know the value, similar value, you just take the root of that power, and you will get this result immediately. Okay, so it's okay. The power law, when the power is greater than 1, it's become dark. So the fact tell us the power, the monitor device, the power is larger than 1. So before the 1, I've changed this our image become brightened image, and then after compensate the gamma correct, and after the monitor display, you'll become close to our original clear image. Okay, so it's application for the power law. Also, this is the MRI magnetic resonance image of a fracture image there. So if you look at this one, that's the result immediately you get from the medical device. So how can you do? Actually, they say there is a fracture, but in this condition, this is not clear, right? So how can you do? What can you do? Is this too dark or too bright to you? Too dark, right? Actually, if you look at the outside, look at it fine, and you just let the patient go. Unfortunately, it breaks your hair. So if you are a doctor, you have to say, oh, let's look at this dark part. So how can you select your gamma correction? You are going to transform this image to a clear one. So how do you set up your gamma? There's the one, right? The root of something. So here give some example. V to D, we take a root gamma power of 0.6, 0.4, 0.3, and from B to D. So B is this one. So this is 0.6. Is that clear? If it is not clear enough, want to see more detail? 0.4. So there's a fracture there. So go to take some medical therapy, and this is for 0.3. Okay, so yeah, so you have to understand what's your situation now and apply the right application transformation. Okay. How about this one? This is aerial image. So aerial image from the satellite. Okay. So when you take the image, it looks like this one. Immediately you know, this is too bright. So how you do it? If you want to use a very simple transformation, take the power law. So maybe you just set up what's the number 3, 4, 5. So there are 3 choices. 3 R square. Okay. 3, 4, like this one. 4, like this one. 5, like this one. So definitely better than the original one, right? So it depends on your input image, and you have to write the right correct correction process. Okay, so how about the stretch? We just say we want to enhance our contrast of the image, and you also can apply a linear one. Okay, because the power or the logarithm is sometimes too much for the image, and sometimes you want to enhance the different grade level intensity range is different. So you are not apply all over the image. So you are going to select different intensity level range to do transformation. So in that sense, maybe you just want to in contrast stretching in certain part, certain range. So piecewise linear transformation will give you a good performance here. So let's see. Here we just transform maybe part of it like this one, and then R1, R2. You can do every different slope to transform, stretch out different one, and use different combination. So for example, like this one, contrast stretching, piecewise linear transformation. We say piecewise. So they are piecewise linear transformation. So the B image is a low contrast electron microscope image of pollen. Okay, it's pollen. So you take this image at your hand. You know, there must be something detail in there. However, I only get this very blur image, certain level, so gray, right? So which means intensity level in your mind should be focused on some specific range. So you can look at a histogram and see how it's distributed. And you'll find out the histogram of this image is just like this one. And nothing there, nothing there. It's between some R1 to R2. Focus on specific intensity range. So in that sense, if I were you, I would just enhance, stretch out for the R1 to R2, this level to stretch out. So like this one, you can play like this one. R1, R2 is a small range here. So R1 here, R2 here. So in here, I just stretch in a very dynamic huge range there. So what's the result? Just like this. So compare these two images. See? So as long as you look at the image, you know how to play with it. Okay, because they focus on very specific range of the intensity level, and then I just stretch out this local small segment here into very dynamic contrast. If you try to make it highest contrast, so this one become like this shape. So focus on the R0, maybe in the mid average value of this image, and then lower than R0 become black, higher than R0 become white. So you become like this one, binary image. Okay, so it depends on your application. You can have a different choice. Okay, here is a transformation function for highlight some specific range. So it's just we just mentioned, maybe in specific range you are going to finalize it. And here is keep the background the same. This design is the background the same, but specific range enhanced to a constant. When you have this application, you try to brighten some specific range. For example, like this. This is a aortic angiogram. Okay, 主动脉血管. Okay, so the result using a slicing transformation. So we call this a slicing. You slice a specific range, and then sometimes you enhance the background. Sometimes you keep the background the same. Enhance the object. All depend on your transformation. Okay, so like this, enhance some specific range. This is keep the background the same. So like this image. So the B range is result using the slicing transformation of the type. For the A, like this one, A here, the left hand side transformation. Or use this one, and you get this result. So certain range, I just give a constant label. So it's white, like a very quiet, and background image become dark. Okay, so focus on what you want to see. So in this example, we want to see the angiogram, and you just make it brighten. The background, I don't want to see become 0. So this is using this transformation. How about this one? This is try to the C image result using the transformation of B with the select range near break. So he choose what kind of image is near break? Maybe this one, near break, and what did I do? So let gray in the area of the blood vessel and the kidney will preserve. Okay, so the everything else will preserve. So just specific range become break, and then everything will like this one. So the transformation should be like this. Certain label become background, and less become original. So they keep the kidney and the angiogram the same as the original. And everything near to the break color become break. Become this range, become break. So it really depends on your transformation settings. Is it okay? It's a linear, very easy. But you have to look at the object you want to see. So in the application, maybe you just do some local segment to analyze which segment object you look at it you want to use. So this is a bit plan of an 8-bit image. So you know every image we look at the gray label. So every image have every pixel have 8-bit. So it's 8-bit there. Every image have 8-bit. So you slice in horizontal way, and it's every bit plan. Okay, the bit plan 8 we call the most significant bit. So if an image pixel you have a 8-bit there. This one is a MSB. This one is a LSB. This is the significant bit. So the next one is like noise. Okay. So they will influence your gray label 1 or 0, 1 or 0. So you have to understand how you process it. For example, like this. This is an 8-bit gray label image, like this one. This is the I don't know how to pronounce it. Trophozoite. It's just kind of parachute, some bacteria, okay, and called the giardiasis, whatever. Okay, here, check it. Okay, it's just make you diarrhea, in your stomach. Not a very serious one. But however, if you want to look at this one, and let's look at the 8-bit plan individually. So this is the most significant bit. And this is second bit. So you slice your 8-bit label image into 8-bit plan. And this is the first bit plane. This is the second bit plane. So imagine that one. So the second bit plane all transverse because it's separate from 128 to 129. 128 will go here, 127 will go here. So it's very important as well. But the third one becomes like this. The fourth bit, the fifth bit, 6, 7, 8 bit. So they are 8 bit plane. So in this sense, you can see even the 8 bit should be noisy. No doubt, should be noisy. 7 bit also noisy. 6 bit noisy again. Even the 5th bit noisy. Look at that. Is that true? Indeed. So let's reconstruct this bit plan back to original image. So you can add up the first one, most significant bit, add the second one, and then add the third one, fourth one, until all of the 8 bit plan add up back to original one. That's the result. So this one is 8 plus 7. The 8 most significant bit plan at the second, and you get this result. So major part is here, and the second one is S7, 6 add together, and this is 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 bit. Actually, use your visual system to compare the original one, this one, and this one. Hardly to tell the differences. Okay, so let's tell you the 5th, 6th, 7, 8. Look at very noisy. So back to 20 years ago, maybe we are transmit our image. Actually, we have a progressive transmission. Okay, as long as your image good enough, you only transfer 4 bit enough. Okay, no more detail to transfer. Yeah, so you can do some image compression technique there. Yeah, it is just a reconstructed image, and then you can compare by your vision. Okay, so let's look at this. Now we are going to see the histogram. So up to here, we see we only have a point transformation, right? R to S. So only you have to do is give me this R transformation to S. Okay, change this one transformation, 1 pixel by 1 pixel, one gradable to the other corresponding intensity gradable. And now we are going to see what's the powerful automatic transformation now for the histogram equalization. Let's look at this 4 image, okay, the pattern. And look at this 4 different images. Can you imagine the histogram? Histogram is the gradable distribution of this image. And do you know what's the distribution in your mind? Okay, like this one, this is a approach to dark image, bright image, gradable image, and this is clear image. So if you want to compare and then think about the histogram distribution, I think you have this mind already. For the dark image, most of the image variable works on here, 0 to L. It's a low variable here. For the brightened image, the image label distribution should be focused on the higher variable for this one. And this is gray label, and focus on some specific range not clear, and we'll see the focus on this specific label and the neighboring intensity level there. And this is clear, high contrast. So when it's dark, when it's bright, or gray, well, in this image, clear, this one, like this one. Distributed every different gray label is open. So this is corresponding for some different image content. We say this is a high contrast image. This is a low contrast. This is a lightened, brightened image. This is dark image. So they have a different distribution. So clearly, this one must be the best one, right? Compared to the other one. Actually, they are the same image. They just contrast or gathering together. They're gradable. Which means when you have a very uniformly distributed intensity level in your histogram, your image preserve the higher contrast characteristics, higher contrast features, because they have very good different intensity level distributed in their neighboring pixels. So that's the purpose. If we can transform this one into this one, or this one into this one, or this one into this one, which means our image become better visually look. Okay, so how we do that one? First of all, we have to know the function should be monotonically increasing. At the beginning, we mentioned this is the monotonically increasing. This one. This one is when some region here we change to a very constant level here. However, this one is a monotonic increasing. Everything is increased. We don't look at some curve and go up and then go down and some oscillation there. So this is not we are going to use here. We are going to say brighter should be brighter, darker should be darker. When you transform, you cannot transfer darker to brighter, bright, and brighter to dark, and brighter to dark, brighter to brighter. Okay, so there's no confusion there. We need monotonic transformation. Okay, and now we image histogram-based transformation method. We are going to introduce histogram equalization, automatically enhance your image by their histogram distribution. So first of all, we have to introduce histogram. Histogram is a different gradable probability of the specific gradable. So it's just counting the how many pixels with the value, the same value RK. The main K is 128, and you are going to count in all your image how many pixels with K value, and then the N is your total size of the image, or maybe you are M by N image, and this is the total number of pixels in your image. And every different grade level have a different probability, and we call it the function of the P of RK. The probability represent the total number of pixels with the grade level RK, and we call it the histogram. So this is the histogram of the global definition of the appearance of the image. So it's just like the PDF value. So if you look at the histogram of the image, actually it's a PDF probability density function of the image. Okay, every different grade level have different probability. Some typical histogram like this. So we just say the image are darker, light, high contrast, and medium, low contrast image, centralized in specific grade level. So we are going to do histogram equalization here. Try to equalize your histogram, like this one, how you stretch out to a uniform distribution. So this is a equalization way automatically. So assume the moment that the input image to be enhanced has a continuous grade level, and R equal to 0 represent black, R equal to 1 represent white. So we have this range, black and white, within 0 to 1. So you can see 0 to 1, this is R input, this is S. So how you find this one, and then try to transform your histogram into a uniformly distributed distribution. Okay, so it's a histogram equalization. How we do this one? Okay, I think I will derive this formula in next class, and we just give you a very intuitive idea. So this is a probability transformation from one to the other one. So how we do this one? Actually, probability always have an area of 1. And if you know, we have two different transformation. We say it's not change. Okay, yeah. So PS ds equal to PR dr. So you are going to change from a small segment to the other segment. This is transformation fundamental. So here is the idea of this transformation. We call histogram equalization. We have a new distribution of PR. And how we do it? We have to do this one. Your probability original histogram will multiply this one, your relationship DRDS. R is the input variable, S is the output variable. What's the relationship between these two functions? So actually, we say we are going to change S equal to T of R, right? This is our transformation function. R change to S. How you change it? If we change this like this one, R equal to inverse function of S here. And if we do this one, this some design, actually, the result output will become like this. Okay, we will demonstrate this one in next class. So the result will become output become 1. What's the 1 meaning? The 1 for the PDF, 1 the new S parameter, new gradable parameter, and 0 to 1, and their distribution is like this one, always 1 here. What does that mean? Because uniform function everywhere is the same. Everywhere is the same. So mathematically, we are going to transfer from one S PDF to another parameter R PDF, and the other one, the destination function will be uniform distributed. How we do that one? Actually very easy. As long as you just calculate this one. S equal to transformation function, how you define it? Like this. If you remember the probability, your accumulation integration of this one, which means CDF, cumulative density function definition. And if you have this one, you have this definition, the new transform, use this function, and what's the DSDR? DSDR is become like this, P in. So immediately we just write in previous slide. So the relation DRDS, DSDR just inverse, so it becomes like this one. So definitely they will cancel out. It become 1. So which means output can be 1 if only if your definition is like this kind of transformation. The definition, this is called CDF of your input image histogram. So very straightforward. Okay, just calculate your CDF, and immediately this function is your selection. And what's the result? Okay, next time we will show like this one. Okay, so that one is original one. It just calculate a histogram of the dark image, and then transform it to CDF, and then transform to a new image S domain like the right hand side. And if your original is like this one, and your transformation is the CDF of it, the result like this one. So you can see, look like very uniform line. The original is this one. Use the CDF of this image, and then transform into a new result. It's equalized histogram. Original is like this one. Do it again with some similar result. So this won't affect your original contrast characteristic. But if your original one is very bad distribution, they will automatically stretch your histogram distribution into a uniform line, and everything will become very clear. So we call it the histogram relation. So we will show some example in next class. Okay. So if you have question, come here. If no, okay, yeah, class dismissed.哦，停止，只要在这里停止。哎，没有。好，这个先。sorry， 停止 ，sorry， 停止。是要充电。